how much does it cost to get your dick stepped on?
I typically charge $300 an hour.
Whoa.
Wait, you're stepping on their penis for an hour? Welcome back to Other People's Lives. I'm Joe Santagato.
I'm Greg Dybec.
For anyone out there that would like to be a guest on our show, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Our email is oplpodcast@gmail.com.
Today, we're speaking with a woman who reached out via email, and the subject line is, I hurt men for money. Amazing subject line. What she means by that is she is a professional dominatrix, and she says that she goes by the name Mistress Scarrlett, and she is known for trampling and degrading men. So we are going to learn all about this job. And we've got Miss Scarrlett on the line. Thank you so much for being on today.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
I know it's pretty self-explanatory, but can you just give us your definition of what it is to be a dom that specializes in trampling and degrading men?
Okay. So basically, like, what I do is that, like, people will contact me who have specific, like, kinks or things they want done to them, and I provide them with a service and, you know, live the fantasy for them. Yeah, just stomping on dicks for, you know, some extra money.
Stomping on dicks for extra money. That is a tagline for the for the ages there.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess, I mean, I want to start at the beginning, but I have to start here, I guess. How much does it cost to get your dick stepped on?
I typically charge $300 an hour.
Whoa.
Wait, you're stepping on their penis for an hour?
Yeah. Some
Oh my
guys can
God.
last, you know, an hour. You know, I'll give them breaks if they're good. But yeah, usually like an hour. Usually there's a bit of, you know, they want to watch me put shoes on. They want to watch me, you know, get ready for it. I put them under the table. You know, it's like a whole song and dance. So I can stretch it out.
Yeah.
300, and I've paid like lawyer fees for 300 an hour. That's incredible.
Wow.
I honestly didn't think it would be that much.
What are you usually wearing when you're trampling?
It really depends on the like person that I'm with. There are some people that like really don't give a shit. Like I could be wearing like leggings and like a t-shirt and like they wouldn't care, but some want like the full leather, you know, leather chaps with the fucking cowboy boots with the spurs. Like they want like a cute little cocktail dress with some stilettos. It really depends on what they want because it's their fantasy that I'm trying to make come true for them.
Is it safe to be stomping on, get your penis stomped on with
this
like
is
a
the
cowboy
biggest
boot?
question I have, because I mean, look, the subject line was I hurt men for money. Like there's obviously a level of pain here. So what is that? Like okay, here's the context to this question that Joe and I are asking. You sent us pictures in your email, and these are making me very squeamish. Like we obviously can't show this. I'm looking at it on my phone right now. There are multiple pictures of you just quite literally trampling someone's penis. In one of them, you have huge boots on, also just like studded with like what looks like diamonds. The heel is digging so deep into the scrotum. I don't know how this guy's going to walk after this. One of them, you're barefoot. One of them, you're jumping. So I don't even want to think about when you land on this penis. Another one with huge heels. So Joe saw these two. He's covering his face right now. It looks like something I wouldn't want to happen to my worst enemy. How is this safe? And how do you like learn how to do this without just destroying someone's dick and balls?
So, a lot of people like will build up to it. The man like specifically in that photo is like, he's been doing this. He's been like in this lifestyle for a long time. So it's like a slow build of tolerance, but he really enjoys like the pressure, that I don't really like while I'm doing it, when I'm wearing like those pencil thin stiletto heels, like, and drawing blood, I'm just like
Drawing blood?
Oh yeah. Sometimes there'll be a little bit like you'll nick like the shaft or the balls by accident, and like he's fine. Like he plays soccer the next day.
Whoa, this dude's got a dick of steel.
Oh, he absolutely does. He's an absolute trooper.
So this is like an hour that you're doing this.
Yeah. Not a full hour of the intense trampling, jumping, but the whole service altogether is typically about an hour. And then usually like they'll provide me with like gas money if I've traveled to them, or they'll pay for like a hotel room. But yeah.
Okay, so I guess let's start from the beginning here. How did you first get into dominatrix and eventually get to the point where you are now?
Okay, so it all started in my second year of art school. I was struggling to making ends meet. Like I was working 2 jobs and going to school full time. So like I really had no time to do anything. Like I maybe had 1 day off to myself a week, and then I was doing homework. So I was constantly like looking for ways to like make money on the side that like required less of my time. And sex has always just made sense to me as far as like the psychological and everything around it. I tried the sugar baby thing, and like I don't like submitting to men. Like it makes me feel gross. So I started dating this dude, and he took me to some sex clubs, and like I have a specific look to me, I guess. Like I have a resting bitch face. So people really they like it, or they think I'm a bitch, and that's fine for them. So I started like looking into things. Like I posted a picture on my feet or of my feet online, and then men just started messaging me. They wanted more pictures of my feet, and then I would just send them. They would send me money, and then someone out of the blue messaged me, and it was this woman. She lived in a town over from me, and she was like, "Hey, like you have really cute feet. Like, do you want to come step on my husband?" And I was like, let me think about it for a bit. So I thought about it for a couple of days. I talked to like my partners to make sure everything was safe. So, went and met up with them. Like we chit-chatted for a bit, and then yeah, I just like ended up stomping on his dick the first day I met him. And it was kind of like history after that. It was like really good therapy for him, like really good therapy for me.
So you enjoyed this?
Oh, like it's unbelievable how much I enjoy hurting men for money.
Did this almost unlock a kink for you? Or like, did you know you always had that interest, or did you kind of have to do it, get thrown into that situation, and then you realized, wow, this is for me?
See, for me, it's not sexual for me. Like I don't get like turned on, but it's the power I feel from it that gets me going.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like being in a position of power. I like having control over somebody, and I like them submitting to me. It's like a next level of trust that you can put in someone. So it like they're trusting me to like understand what they need, keep them safe, and have fun. And I really enjoy the feeling of power that gives me.
So can we just kind of set the scene on this like first one here where the wife sort of reached out and was like, come step on my husband. You show up, you chit chat. How do we get there? How do we get to the point where are you stepping on anything else? Like, are you stepping on his face, or it's just...
Oh yeah. Like, so I showed up and, had a little cocktail, smoked a little something, just getting familiar, getting to know them. And they showed me what they make videos and stuff, or they used to. They're not married anymore, RIP. But they like showed me what they were about, and I was like, yo, that seems like kind of fun. Never done that before. And they had this whole like walk-in closet of shoes to choose from. Whoa. So I'm like a shoe fanatic, so I kind of lost my shit. So I picked out a pair of shoes. I think we started with stepping on his face and body just to like get more comfortable. And then once I was comfortable with that and like the whole like rigging of the thing, like we put him under the table and then
what is this
stomped on
table
him.
exactly?
Yeah.
So it is kind of like those like trays you put on your lap if you eat in bed?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that with a hole cut out in the center so he can like pull his dick and balls through.
Right.
So he's laying underneath the table and he's laying on the floor. So, and then above the table it was so sketchy thinking back to it. It was like in their laundry room, in their basement, and it was like unfinished. And they had all these like handles bolted into the like support beams in the ceiling. So like you don't fall essentially, because like it gets pretty slick up there because he's covered in Vaseline.
Oh, like for you to hold while you're walking?
Yes.
Right.
Why is he covered in Vaseline?
It kind of helps when you're stepping. It prevents him from getting cut because like his skin will just like slip.
Like a boxer almost.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're
yes,
like,
exactly.
Got it. That's wild. So they had a whole closet filled with ball trampling shoes.
Yes, and he will just send me pictures of like screenshots online and be like, "Hey, do you like these shoes? Like I'm buying them for you."
Whoa.
So I'm just like, "Hell yeah, I like those shoes. Like buy them for me."
when he's under the table and you're holding on to the handles and like stepping on this guy, where's the wife?
She would either be, I don't know if I sent you pictures, but we would step on him together sometimes.
Oh, wow.
So there would be, instead of just my 2 feet, there would be 4 feet.
4-footer.
So like,
wow.
She would take like the balls and I would take the shaft or vice versa.
Whoa.
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Dude, what? Sometimes I like, try to be sophisticated and like, when you like put your leg over your knee.
Yeah.
If you're drinking coffee, do you ever feel like your ball pop a little?
Nope.
Okay.
That's just you.
Well, it freaks me out.
I was going to ask, is there, and I don't know if you know the answer to this question, but is there any like actual damage that you've ever done to someone where it's like, oh, now I've been peeing blood because you stomped a little too crazy last week?
No, usually it's just like swelling and bruising. Or like a surface nick, but it's never like I have enough control and like I know what I'm doing enough that I don't cause any permanent damage.
Right. Because you're not like full on like stomping this thing, like taking your day out on it, right?
Sometimes I do.
Oh, wow.
Like if I'm having like a tough week with like my partner or like somebody out, like some dude at work pissed me off or like an election in a different country didn't go as I wanted it to go, like I will just channel that. I channel like the misogyny of the world and like that's where I put it.
And you take it out on a single dick.
Yeah. And then
that represents all dicks.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like I kind of view the whole like dominatrix thing as like a case study on people's lives versus how their kinks pan out. Because I find a lot of men who want to submit to a woman are very, like they're in positions where they're in power and like they have to make a lot of decisions and like they have a high stress life and they just want to escape for a little bit. Mm-hmm. And if I can do that for them by inducing pain to bring them out of reality a bit, because like when I talk to them, like the people I step on, because I want to know like the psychology, if they're doing okay, like there's aftercare after I do it. I don't just like stomp on a dick and be like, okay, bye. Like I want to make sure like they're okay, like emotionally and everything. So I'll just talk to them about like where they go when I'm doing that, because like I'll watch their face the entire time to make sure like they're not in too much pain. They're still enjoying themselves and like there's no safe words being thrown out. But yeah, you can, when it gets to a certain level, you can see their brain kind of put them somewhere else. And I always want to know where that somewhere else is.
Mm-hmm. What have you found?
A lot of people that I step on, it throws them into the like deep meditative state where they're just forced to like breathe and focus on like reality and like what is happening to them. also their brain will kind of accept it, and like you can see them accept what's happening and like start finding the pleasure in it. But it's super interesting, like coming from like a psychology and philosophy of love and sex background. But
this is sexually gratifying for them.
Oh yeah, they come.
How are they coming? Not just from stepping.
Yes.
What?
They must
really?
be. Yeah. I assume.
Oh yeah, like the one time I didn't even notice that he came, and I just kept going.
Huh.
But yeah,
Jeez.
like the first time it happened, I was also like, because it's also a degrading thing. So like, I find it funny that like you like this and like you can come to this. And also like, if you come on my feet, I'm definitely going to slap you in the face with my cum covered foot. So like, it's just, yeah, naturally, of course. Like,
what are you saying degrading things to them during this?
Usually I am. Like, the way I degrade is not, I don't know if it's mean, but it could be perceived that way. But usually I'm laughing at them.
So
because,
humiliation
like,
type of stuff.
Yeah, it is. Because to me, like, if somebody laughed at me for something I liked, that is like highest treason. Like, don't yuck on my yum. Like, I like this thing. Like, don't make me feel dumb for liking it. But I'll do that to them.
Can you give us some examples of your best, most degrading lines?
Man, like this one time this man requested that I play music I usually play music while I do it anyways, just for me, so I can keep track of time. But he requested Jump Around. and
it's a little on the nose, a little on the dick.
Every time the song said jump, like I would jump. And like that's over 100 times in that song.
I was going to say, that's the entire song is the word jump.
And then I remember at the end when he came, I was just like laughing at how fucked up he was. And I was like, I can't believe you like this shit. And I was like, he is not interested in sex at all. This is what he wants. This is all he wants.
Before we finish our conversation with our guest, we do have a couple of sponsors to tell you about. If you're anything like me, then as you get older, you do not bounce back the same way after a night out with drinks. I used to be afraid to admit this, but now I'm not. I have no shame going out, having drinks at night. It takes a toll on me that it didn't take when I was younger. But luckily, there is a game-changing product that I have discovered and that I want to tell you about. It's called ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic Drink. And let me tell you, if there is a surefire way to wake up feeling fresh after a night of drinking, it is with pre-alcohol. So ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by scientists to tackle the rough mornings after drinking. The way it works is that when you drink, that alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut, and it's that byproduct, not dehydration, that is to blame for that rough next morning. So what pre-alcohol does is it produces an enzyme that breaks this byproduct down. So if you remember to make pre-alcohol your first drink of the night, and of course drink responsibly, then you will feel your best tomorrow. I was apprehensive about this product because it's one of those things that people hear about and say, this sounds too good to be true. So I tried it. I brought it out with me. I remember the first time I ever used this, I had it as my first drink of the night. And then I just had a couple drinks that night, something that during the week typically would have me feeling just lazy the next day, if you know what I mean. It's just always a rougher next morning. I have to get up early because I have a kid now, so I get 0 mornings off. So I'm always so hesitant of like, oh, am I going to have a couple drinks tonight? Am I going to go out? This person invited me. I'm going to have to wake up so early with my kid the next day. But when I tried pre-alcohol, I felt great the next morning, and I was able to go into the studio. We were recording a big shoot the next day. I worked out, just all the things that are usually a struggle just felt so much easier the next day. So I was on the fence, but ever since trying it, I no longer am. And I keep pre-alcohol on me when I go out. I make sure that it's my first drink. I put a lot of people onto it, and it's something that we went on tour with the Basement Yard. We brought a bunch of Z-Biotics with us. That helps for some of those later nights or if you're mingling with people, having drinks. So it's something that I definitely recommend. And the holidays are upon us. For a lot of people, that means maybe more nights out with drinks, catching up with relatives, friends. Maybe you go back to your hometown, you go out. So this is an amazing time to try out Z-Biotics pre-alcohol. And you can go to zbiotics.com/OPL to learn more, and you will get 15% off your first order when you use OPL at checkout. And Z-Biotics is backed with a 100% money-back guarantee. So if you are unsatisfied for any reason, they will refund your money, no questions asked. So I know some of you might be skeptical. Give this a try. You're going to get 15% off. And if you are not happy, if you feel like it doesn't work for you, then you will get a refund, 100%. So remember to head to zbiotics.com/OPL and use that code OPL at checkout for 15% off. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. How do you stay cozy in the winter months? For some people, it's chilling inside with a nice blanket, maybe some hot cocoa or something like that. Comfort is always something that we seek around the holidays. We want to make our homes more comfortable, more enjoyable. If you live somewhere where it gets cold in the winter, then comfort is really key to kind of stay warm, stay cozy, maybe curl up on the couch with a loved one. My point is, comfort is important around the holidays, right? And a great way to find comfort within yourself is therapy. Because with therapy can come a comfort that never goes away. A comfort that you can sustain, that you can continue to build and work on through therapy. What I mean by that for me personally is a comfort being in my own skin, a comfort with the progress that I've made. Even though I know that there's a lot of progress I still want to make, there is such a comfort in knowing that I am making progress, even if at times it is slight progress. Also being comfortable with the decisions that I make in life, knowing that they are decisions for me, not decisions that I'm making because I'm going to care what other people think. That is something that I definitely struggled with throughout the years, but therapy has helped me be able to navigate that and find that comfort within myself where I'm not seeking as much outside validation. So I use the word comfort as a blanket, no pun intended, blanket statement, because there is such a level of self-comfort that you can get from therapy, that you can get by reflecting, especially around the holidays and working on yourself. And another thing that people find very comfortable is just doing what you want to do, knowing that you can say no to things. There's so much that therapy has helped me personally with that has added this level of comfort to my life. And if you've been thinking about giving therapy a try, or maybe you have in the past and you want to try it out again, then I definitely recommend BetterHelp. The great thing about BetterHelp is that it is entirely online, so it is designed to be convenient and flexible and fit around your schedule. We are all busy. It is the holidays. Most of us are busier than ever, but BetterHelp is super convenient to fit your lifestyle. And to get started, all you have to do is fill out a brief questionnaire, and they will match you with a licensed therapist. And the best part about BetterHelp that I always tell people is that you can switch therapists at any time with no additional charge. So find some comfort this December with BetterHelp. And you can visit betterhelp.com/OPL and you will get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/OPL. Give that a try and you will get 10% off your first month. And now back to our interview.
Do any of the clients ever try to turn it into like a sexual type of thing, or is it strictly just stomping that they want?
For me, while I'm setting up the session, and I call it like a scene, like a movie or whatever. Like, we are going to discuss what is going to happen. This is what's going to happen if you're ever out at any time. Like, here's your safe word. But it's always predetermined what's going to happen. I do not have penetrative sex with clients because it throws off the power dynamic, because I'm in control. You don't get this. Mm-hmm. But I will peg someone. So if I'm doing the fucking, that's fine.
So you've pegged a couple.
Oh yeah. But nobody's fucking me except my partner.
Right.
And your partner knows you do this.
Oh yeah. He can't look at it either.
Do you have the same sort of relationship with your partner, or is it kind of like the opposite, like in the way that you're describing the men being like in powerful positions, so they like to get taken, like they like to be submissive. Is that sort of the same deal for you?
I'd say my relationship, we're pretty like, we go through seasons. The way I would say it, it's like sometimes I will be the top for an extended period of time, but then sometimes if the mood strikes, like I'll be a bottom, especially for him. Like I love him. But yeah, we go through seasons of like power dynamics.
Okay.
But it seems like you're still mostly dominant in your like everyday sex life as well.
He's a bit of a pillow princess sometimes, and I'm okay with that.
Pillow princess. Wow. Okay. So how often are you like booking clients, and like, do you have just like a Rolodex of people that you usually see, or is it like new people?
So I typically will not take new clients unless they have like a reference from one of my old ones, because the community is not that big. There's only so many dudes who want their dick stomped on.
That's fair.
But when it comes to like, because I do a lot of like phone calls, like people will call me and they just want me to like rip them apart for half an hour. Those ones they're typically like one-offs, but I do have reoccurring like phone clients. But the trampling, I do have like a roster, I guess you could say. And like they have my priority because loyalty is everything to me. And so like they'll contact me when they want, and we'll set a date, we'll make it work. But yeah, I would say it's hard to say because sometimes it's really, really busy, and then sometimes I'll step away for a bit if like other life stuff is going on.
So you're in control of how often you want to do it.
I'm always in control.
Roughly, how much money do you make a year trampling penises?
Oh God, it's so hard because that's my play money, so I don't really keep track of it. I would say like 20 grand a year.
And about how often are you doing it?
A couple times a month.
Okay.
Wow.
I would say like maybe four times a month. Like, so I guess that's like once a week almost, but sometimes it'll be like 2 times in a week, or like I'll do 3 in a week and then I won't do any for a couple of weeks. Cause like it is a workout for me too.
Yeah. And I'm assuming they're all like, you have to be in your area.
Yeah. Like, I'm from like Canada. So the provinces are pretty big. So I kind of like stick to a region, but like if it's not too far, I'll go to them. Or like I live between like Niagara Falls and Toronto. So I do the whole like Niagara Toronto rip.
Okay.
It's a lot of clients in that area. I feel like it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Dense population. Are most of these men married or in relationships?
Typically they're like divorcees. They typically have kids. Yeah, most of them are like I'm trying not to say this mean. Typically they're like middle-aged dudes who like are seeking some sort of excitement post first marriage.
Okay. That almost makes sense to me.
I guess.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
once you get out of your first marriage, you're like, all right, I'm going to really become a new person here and just do everything that I want to do.
Most of my clients got married young, had kids young, you know, grew apart from their partners, or like they discovered things about themselves in the marriage that like their partners weren't necessarily fond of. So then like they get out of their marriage and they're like wiling out.
Yeah.
Have there ever been requests beyond trampling and degrading that were almost so crazy that you said no?
Oh, I've said no. Like I don't do blood play and I don't do scat. Like those are my 2 hard no's, but I have like pissed on people. Like, you know, The whole nine. I just like I won't be drawing anybody's blood and I won't be pooping. That's fine.
No blood, no poop.
I would say that's a good line. That makes a lot of sense.
But to me, like, I had a lot of clients are super insecure and they'll be like, oh, like, I feel really weird. And I was like, to me, because I understand the psyche behind the kink and like where it's coming from or like what it does or what it means, like, nothing feels weird to me. I just like the two things I don't do are for like sanitary reasons. Like, I was a tattoo apprentice. I know about bloodborne pathogens. I ain't doing that. And like, poop is obviously disgusting. I'm not doing that either. It's like I won't even pick up a dog's poop.
Yeah, that's a rough one for sure. Do most people in your life like know that this is part of like a part of your life? Like I know that you share it with your partner, but do like your friends know anything about it?
They know. I don't like. They're aware that I do it, but I don't know if they're aware of to the extent. Obviously, my partner knows everything. Like he always knows like when I'm going to do it, like what the time frame is, and like just to make sure like I'm safe.
Mm-hmm.
But
do
like,
you have another job, like a full-time job?
I keep another job, but just for the benefits.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you have a other job with coworkers, and none of those people know that on the side
No.
you're stomping.
I try to keep like my inner circle knows, like my friends and like my partner, but like family and coworkers, they don't know. I think I have one coworker that knows that I don't work full time all the time because like I make money elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows that men pay money to spend time with me, and that's all she knows.
Interesting. I love that, like picturing that scene in my mind. Like you're like in an office or something, you know, water cooler in the kitchen. Someone's like, how was your weekend? And you're just like 24 hours ago, you were just stepping on some greased up guy in his basement. But it's like, oh, it was good. Just hung out, watched Netflix.
Do most of these stompings occur at their home, or do you guys have to like go to a hotel? Like, is it always this table that you're talking about?
It depends. My safe clients that I know really, really well and I've known for a long time, I'll go to their place because like they live the lifestyle. But if I'm meeting somebody new, I will never go to their house. They will have to get a hotel. Mm-hmm. Also, if people are coming from like the States or whatever, they'll typically go to Niagara Falls and like get a room.
Oh, okay.
Because then it's just like a cute little Niagara Falls vacation.
Cute. But that's got to be scary too for you to take on new clients. I mean, you said it's like referrals usually, so I guess that's sort of a vetting process in itself. But I don't know, with any sort of like sex work and like thinking of that initial like taking on a new client, meeting someone new, going alone to a hotel, like that, there has to be some fear there no matter what, right?
Oh yeah, and like I've had like friends in the past who have had like muscles or whatever. I'll like bring them with me. Like I'll pay them for the day to come with me and just like be in the vicinity in case anything weird happens. But most of the time I'm just like paying them money to hang out in the city that I'm working in.
Right.
Like they'll go get lunch and then like they'll be around. But when I'm meeting somebody new, I never go alone.
Okay. Well, that's good to hear. And as a dom, is there anything you haven't done that you would want to try?
I would really, really love to one day have a domestic slave.
A what?
A domestic slave. It's like a sub who lives with you and takes care of all domestic tasks.
Oh.
What does that mean?
So, like, if I'm getting dressed to go out, they would pull clothes for me and like help me get dressed. They would do the cleaning. They would do the cooking. They would take care of like I would give them access to my home, and in service to me, they would take care of the home for me. So I don't have to, and I can just sit pretty and boss them around.
Yeah, I want that too. What do you have to do for them? Or is it that they're being submissive in that sense that like that's how they're getting off?
Yes, they want to like wholly be your slave. Like they want to do what you say when you say, like you say jump, they say how high.
But this isn't your partner? Like this isn't a romantic or sexual partner?
No.
They're just a slave.
Yeah. And some people just want to live like that because they don't want to live in the real world, you know? Like they just want to be at home serving someone.
Do you pay them?
Honestly, typically they pay you.
So it's a butler service, but the butlers are paying you.
Yeah, because you let them live with you.
Oh, they're a live-in domestic slave.
Are there any that like watch kids and stuff?
I don't know if like I would bring kids into it.
No,
like,
yeah, I was totally kidding. For everyone listening, I'm not considering that. Obviously, where do but okay, if you had one of these, like where would they live? Like they would live with you full time?
Yeah, so they would typically have their own room and like provided that you have the space, because like I've had an offer of this before, but it was like during COVID and I was living with roommates, so I'm like, we're not bringing another person into this household.
Okay.
But
would your partner be down for it?
Yes, we've talked about it before.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like a good deal, to be honest.
I can't really poke any holes in this one. It's
Yeah.
another mouth to feed?
Well,
Or make them buy the food. Oh, they're paying.
Yeah,
exactly.
so they would essentially give me money to house them, feed them, and then they would do all the domestic work as well.
But would you always essentially be in character? Like, are you just being mean to them? Or like if like end of the day, are you just like, come over here and be my footstool? Go get me food. Go stand in the corner. You've been bad.
Yeah, like I'm not always going to be mean to a sub. Like if they're doing good, I'll let them know they're doing good. And some people thrive on the good girl, good boy, like energy. Like you did all the laundry. Like, thank you for that. Like they live just to please.
Wow.
Have you ever dommed a woman?
Yes.
And like they want to be stepped on as well? Or is that like a completely different thing?
Typically women don't want to be trampled because they've got nothing really to step on. And I do find it harder to be mean to women because I love them.
I was going to say, like, do you enjoy that? Because like with the dick, it's like, that's the patriarchy
Right
that
there,
you're
yeah.
crushing. But for a woman,
like, I feel like when it comes to like dominating women, I turn into more of like the goth mommy. Like it turns into a mommy kink because like I love women. I want to protect women and like I don't want to do anything to hurt them unless they want me to.
Right.
But it's typically when I dom women, it's a more of a caring, authoritative role.
okay. And just to circle back to the penis and the stomping and all that, how, like 1 to 10, like how much pain are we talking? Like if I just like, I have no.
Sounds like a 10 out of 10, Greg.
Yeah. Like I just don't, even if I was like open to that, I was like, I'm going to get stomped. I just feel like I couldn't even handle that.
You're not cut out for it, buddy.
I don't think I am. But like, would a professional be able to like stomp me without it hurting too? I don't know. But you have to want the pain, I guess.
I mean,
I just feel like I'd be screaming at the top of my lungs the second a stiletto hit my balls.
oh, that's a good question though. But like, is there usually like screaming, or is it like, are they excited or are they like in pain? Like
They're in a meditative state, apparently.
Well, that too.
Usually it's a lot of like moans and groans and maybe like a sharp inhale every now and again. But I think a lot of people, they don't start with a stiletto. Like I'll tell you that. I think they start with bare feet because the pressure is spread out over a whole foot.
Okay.
And then the way I usually start a client off is bare feet, and then I'll put one foot down and keep the weight on my other foot. And then I'll slowly apply pressure and see how they're doing. And then like, you ease into it. It's not straight to sharp stiletto in your ball sack.
Right. That safe word would be flying out of my mouth with the first toenail that touched that thing.
I've had clients that have never used a safe word ever.
Oh, this is a completely random question. What's your favorite safe word?
What?
I think safe words are so cool.
My favorite safe words are any U.S. state.
Oh,
okay.
My favorite being Oklahoma, I think.
Ooh, that's a good safe word. It's a funny thing to like yell out to.
Yeah, and I think it's funny and it's jarring enough that like it's so out of context that like it immediately makes me stop. But with some clients, I'll use the traffic light system. So like green, everything is good. Like yellow, you're getting close, and then red is a full stop.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And like if someone uses their safe word, what's the protocol there? Are you like now like sort of out of character and it's just like, hey, are you okay? Or is it you're like making fun of them for not being able to handle the pain or something?
No, like as soon as somebody says a safe word, everything stops.
Right.
And I go into, are you okay? Like, can I get you anything? Like, are you hurt? Like, do you need attention? Like, it's a full stop for me.
Mm-hmm. Especially for these guys. Like if a safe word's coming out, it's serious. I would imagine.
I guess so.
Have you ever hurt someone unintentionally? Like to the point that it was beyond how you were trying to hurt them?
No.
Wow. You're good.
I have pretty good control, and like I think I'm aware enough of people's like body language that like I can tell they're getting close before they can. Because obviously, like if you've paid somebody to come do this, you want to last as long as you can. You don't want to use your safe word. Mm-hmm. But if I see that they're getting close or things are going a little bit sideways, I'm always checking in. Mm-hmm. It's like responsible of the Dom to be aware of these things. And like, I think if you are a pro Dom, you have to be aware of these things because then it's unsafe. And all I want is for people to like express their sexuality and their kinks in like a safe and controlled environment. So then like they don't find some, person in the back alley who's going to hurt them,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, we always say on the show, like we speak to people in your position and it's like, it's good to know you're the one out there stomping, like these, like people that are actually taking this role very seriously.
Yeah.
And
care about
safety
it
first and care about it. And that's great because then people get to know they're in safe hands. Like you said, trust is kind of the key factor.
Yeah. And I think that's why people like will pay good money to get a good Dom. Because like you could find any person online to like hurt you, but like they're gonna hurt you.
Yeah, that I think would be the scariest part for someone on that end to be like, am I going to get to this place and this person just has like a weird fetish where they're just going to beat the shit out of me actually. Yeah. Like that would be terrifying.
Or just don't know what they're doing. And
yeah.
Like we hired the cheaper painter in the studio once and we had to like have someone else come back and redo it.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing. Like you do get what you pay for.
I wanted to say that was a bad example so bad, but it was actually a great example. But yeah, that makes sense. You're like, all right, that was, maybe we have to pay up for the good ones here. But yeah, we appreciate you coming on and being so honest and open about this. I mean, definitely something that we've like heard about, but I don't think had a deep dive into what is actually kind of going on there. So it's interesting to kind of hear your perspective of it as well. And it's cool to hear that you have this like system and you care about it so much. And it sounds like not only are you getting, money for it, obviously, but also this sort of gratification on another level as well, where you like this job. And it seems like it's a safe and controlled environment where everyone's getting what they want. And, can't hate on that.
Absolutely.
Just a good little world.
Taking on the world one dick at a time.
There it is. One stomp at a time. Keep marching forward.
Yeah.
And hopefully you get your own domestic slave soon.
Yeah, hopefully. Maybe when I own my own house, I'll look into that.
Let us know. And if any domestic slaves are listening, reach out to us because I have a lot more questions. And then we can also put you in touch.
Oh, hell yeah.
With Scarlett, Mistress Scarrlett. Awesome. Well, wow. Thank you so much. That was quite the journey. We also both learned we're not cut out for this, but
Yeah.
we respect everyone enjoying it.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
please
thanks
stop
so much for
emailing us
having me.
pictures of you stepping on dicks. That would be much appreciated.
No more unsolicited dick pics.
All right. Well, have a good one and good luck with everything.
You too. Take care.
Bye.
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 I'm sorry. I just assumed you weren't cut out for it, but tell me if I'm wrong.
I'm not cut out for that at all. Yeah, no. That's an interesting life that people are living out there.
Yeah. I feel like, I mean, I know she said it's a small community, and for sure that is. I guess the broader, just like BDSM as a whole is just one of the most common kind of kinks that people are aware of.
Pain
Yeah. So it's like, this is something.
and feet. So the combination,
Yeah.
you're like, okay, this does make sense.
It does make sense. But yeah, shockingly, like we've just been in this universe of this show for so long, but we haven't like spoken to someone who's actually out there stepping and beating.
Yeah.
And like really enjoying it.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And it's cool how much she, like the one doing it, is also interested in the psychology behind this. And like for her, like it's not sexual. For her, it's giving her this other gratification. And I guess for the guys, it is sexual. But then there's also, it makes sense. And you just hear this so much with like pegging, BDSM, this, like people who are in positions of power in everyday life. They've experienced success. They are used to the people in their lives, whether it's employees or whoever, being dependent on them or appeasing to them, or they're surrounded by yes men. And then it's just, all right, now in my private life, I just need to escape all of that. And we'll go so far on the other end of the spectrum that I just need someone just telling me I'm a piece of shit, stomping on my dick and pegging me. It's
beautifully said, Greg.
it's
It was poetic the way it came out.
It's
honestly.
so interesting.
It is interesting that there is that like very obvious thing that you always hear about people like that.
Yeah, you're a few more successes away. Be careful, buddy.
Yeah,
Slow down.
I don't know that I am, dude. I hate getting kicked in the balls.
Yeah, for most men, it's like that's your objective of the day is to not hit your balls.
Well, there's other things. I don't
It's not
even.
the only objective, but like we
objective.
try not to get our balls hit.
Yeah.
So-
You might want to look into that pop, by the way. I don't know what you're talking
You know what
about.
I mean. People know what I mean. Just a little
I've
like
accidentally sat on my balls. Does that count?
yeah.
And that's not good. I
not.
shoot up like a cat.
It's not good, dude. And wait till you have kids. For some reason, your balls are just a magnet for their feet and
They
knees
just wanna kick
and
you in the
elbows
balls.
by accident. But
My
just,
dog has stepped on my balls now that I think about it.
That's wow.
Not in a fucking. It's like
You
I'm
had
just
the
on the
table
couch.
with the,
I'm under a table. When I'm covered in Vaseline, my dog just like
he just goes right to the ball.
no. But honestly, that's so
when I
funny.
cover my dick in peanut, okay.
Jesus Christ, this guy. Yeah, no,
And
we
this-
respect the kinks. No kink shaming on this show ever, obviously. I will say that smart to do the Vaseline. I'm picturing like a cut man. And
Yeah,
they're like,
yeah.
You got to put some
No, it
Vaseline
makes
on
sense.
that.
Slick.
Yeah.
Like you'll still get the damage, but you don't want
wanna
to cut the
cut.
skin.
Yeah.
I got it.
But yeah, shout out to her. We appreciate her, coming on and being so open and honest. Shout out to the dudes getting their dick stepped on. Do your thing, man. We're actually happy to hear that people who have like strange or unique or whatever word you want to use, kinks are, getting their money's worth and exploring their sexuality. Do your thing.
Yeah. Everyone's enjoying it.
Everyone's having a good time and everyone's safe. Do your thing. But yeah. For anyone that would like to be a guest on our show, reach out to us. Our email is oplpodcast@gmail.com. Just send us your story and we'll get back to you.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram, TikTok @OPL Podcast. You can support the show at patreon.com/OPL show. That is it. We're going to go find some domestic slaves.
Yep. And that was all. See you guys next time.